Every time I do the hand thing on when I'm playing the song, I feel like the Ultimate Warrior. You would do that. Welcome to Let Freedom Ring. We're gonna do a little, it's something, it's doing some different stuff with the show tonight. Impact Wrestling is actually having a very historic pay-per-view with it being Rebellion, the AEW title, going against the Impact Championship, which kind of got me thinking, let's talk a little Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling. My guest, obviously, a regular of the show, the owner and host of Nerds of Wrestling and What's Up Wrestler, Justin Del Rio. Justin, welcome to the show.
Dan, thank you so much for inviting me on again. I swear I come on all the time and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, I love having you. And he's coming all the way from Connecticut. We also have another Connecticut resident, John Burke, first time on Let Freedom Ring. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And coming all the way from Texas, we have Kendall on the show as well. Kendall, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Wow, Kendall sounds so excited.
Yeah. Well, being a Dallas Cowboys fan. Kendall,
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'll
wow.
be upset every day too.
Okay.
I'll be upset too.
Does that how in today's realm, how does it feel being a Cowboys fan? Just out of curiosity.
It's all right. You know,
It has to put a damper on things.
Yeah. I gotta say, I like to actually know. I respect Cowboys fans that live in Texas. I have a hard time with the Cowboy fans that are like here in New Hampshire because you're not from Dallas. You're not from Texas. How you like the Cowboys because they dominated in the 90s?
Hey, I mean, I'm not from Denver, nowhere near Colorado, but I'm a Broncos fan.
And I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers guy.
But Pittsburgh is closer to Connecticut.
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsburgh is only about like 3-4 hours away from Connecticut. Colorado is like, we're in a different time zone.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm offended, but a little bit. I will say that the only team, as I'm trying to fix my flag here, the only team that I ever rooted for that wasn't a New England team was the Atlanta Braves. And that's because they were on TBS every single night. If you guys, I don't know, I think I'm old enough to know that.
It's funny. It's funny you say you're a Braves fan as well, because that's my dad's favorite baseball team, and his second team is the Red Sox, just because I'm a Red Sox fan, so he roots for them just because of of me. And I'm a Broncos fan because of my dad. My dad got me into football, and that's what made me start. I was a Patriots fan at first, but then I'm like, I don't like the Patriots, and I just like back in like 2014, I'm like, I'm a Broncos fan, so I've been a Broncos fan for like 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I guess I wasn't really like a big fan of like anybody except for the Braves and the Red Sox. So I was a baseball guy. But
yeah,
as obviously though, I'm a total New England homer.
Of course.
So anybody that knows me knows that. We got Cam Newton in the background. He's going to take us back to prominence. I don't care what anybody says. Believe in Cam Newton. But we're not here to talk about Cam Newton today. Let's talk a little bit about Impact Wrestling. A company that started in 2002. Basically, the rise of Impact, when you discuss it, is Vince McMahon buys out everything. ECW goes out of business. WCW goes out of business in 2001. It's been about this month was the 20-year anniversary of these companies. I know ECW went out about a month earlier. And Vince McMahon just owned everything. There was nothing left. There was no big wrestling company in the United States to go work for until Jeff Jarrett came around, and his father Jerry Jarrett started TNA Wrestling. What did you guys think of? I know some of you guys are a little bit younger. What did you guys think of not just Impact starting, but like what did you think of the name TNA? Johnny, we'll start with you.
The name's kind of pretty cool. I thought, I thought they were like thought it'd be a copyright to TNT, but I mean the name is actually, since it died out like in probably 2011, 12, I would say.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So it hasn't been, Impact hasn't been the same since the name TNA. So I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, Justin, what did you think of the name TNA?
I liked it. It sounded cool. Total nonstop action. Very cool. So I started watching wrestling in '06. So I feel like a lot of people who started watching wrestling around that time were my age, are still my age. And, because I interview a lot of people around my age and they say I started watching in '06, and I did not know there was a company called TNA back when I started watching WWE, because obviously WWE was the main brand everybody watched. Nobody knew. If you were a wrestling fan, you only watched WWE. But like the more people I talk to, the more people who I interview, they go, I watched ROH in '05, I watched TNA in '02. I'm like, no shit. See, it took me forever to even discover independent wrestling. It took me. I've been watching wrestling for 6 years at the time until then I discovered the independent scene. I started watching in '06, 2012. I'm like, what is independent wrestling? So at the time I didn't know what TNA was or what it was about, but looking back, it was pretty cool. Very, very dominant.
Awesome. Good answer. Kendall, what did you think of the star TNA and the name TNA? Because obviously it was a play on words of TNA, which we all know what that means, or at least I hope so. What did you think, Kendall?
Well, I first heard TNA. I really thought of what you're thinking about. I was like, okay. I'm like, it's a wrestling company called Tits and Ass. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what they were going for.
But other than that, like around like '08, '09, like I got like that's when it went PG. So I was just like, man, even though I'm looking, I was like, man, I can't watch this PG. You know what? I can't watch this PG stuff. So I was just like, let's do the channel. And all of a sudden I saw like Conan talking on TV. And I was like, this Conan from WCW?
Yeah.
And I was like, he started talking. He was like, I was like, what the fuck is this? And he was like, this is TNA. And this is the Revolution. I was like, TNA. And that's how I started watching it. But for me, like when Hogan came, I was like, yeah, he's gonna take it over, Hulk Hogan. Then we all know how that went. So I really thought,
Hogan did kind of hurt the company. A lot of people disagree with that, but I will say when TNA first came out, because I'm not gonna lie, like I watched WCW back in the day, ECW back in the day, WWF back in the day. So it was nice having these big companies, and then they were just kind of gone. You know what I mean? And you had to watch the World Wrestling Federation only. So I used to watch. I know TNA first started off as like a weekly pay-per-view thing. And then they got onto Fox Sports Net, and you could watch them at like 5 p.m. on a Friday. And that's when that's how I would watch on Fox Sports Net. But they've had a lot of success. I mean, when you really think about TNA, it's like they're coming up on 20 years as a company where, there's such a love for ECW. ECW only lasted 8 years or whatever it was, so it's just kind of fascinating that it's still going. But I do want to talk about, we're going to get into what's going on at Rebellion tonight, but I want to go through a list of wrestlers that really had a big impact on Impact Wrestling, TNA, NWA, TNA, I should say. First one, the guy that created the company, his idea. He could not go back to the World Wrestling Federation after he stiffed Vince for money to job to China. We got Jeff Jarrett. Kendall, how did you think of Jeff Jarrett in TNA?
Looking back at it now.
Yeah, well, just his career.
To the fans' perspective, it was shoved down our throat. So
King of the Mountain.
Yeah, so he was shoved down our throat. But he actually had a good run. Like his feud with a lot of people that I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but I remember I used to like love seeing him like smash people with guitars and like that's what I love. He was smashing people with guitars and all that shit. So he had like a good run, but it's kind of like a dick move to like put yourself as the main champion of your own company. That's why
Yeah.
I thought it was always like a big move. Like, why would you put yourself as like your main champion of your own company?
Yeah.
But like I said, his feud with Kurt Angle and Rhino and all those other people that I can't think of top of my head now. But he kind of did a good job of keeping it afloat and staying around and putting talent over a little bit, but mainly he was the one going over.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I think that's been a big criticism of Jeff Jarrett over the years is that he in the WWF he was never put into really the main event, right? So he goes to WCW knowing Russo was going to put him right at the top. Then he starts his own company. I love Jeff Jarrett. I'm a Jeff Jarrett probably mark, but I do agree with that. Justin, what do you think of Jeff Jarrett's time in TNA Impact Wrestling?
I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, he wasn't going over in WWE, and he wasn't. I think he went over a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, in WCW, right?
Because I mean, his first run in WCW was not. They put him with the Horsemen, but when Russo became the head booker, I guess in WCW, Jeff Jarrett jumped over and was put in the main event.
There you go.
Or around there. So
And then he wants to do his own thing, and then he created TNA, and then he did his thing. Yes, Kendall. Yes, thank you. Yes, he created TNA, and then he put himself over to the moon there, which is kind of weird. Why would you put yourself over in your own company like that? You already are over. You don't need to put yourself over like that. So.
I mean, he was the king of the mountain. He was always in the main event. Johnny, what do you think of Jeff Jarrett's time in TNA?
I think he did pretty well when he started it, and then like I said before, like it died out a bit, but I guess when he was in there, he know what to do with the storylines and stuff like that, and he did pretty well. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I've always been a Jeff Jarrett fan, so it's hard for me to. I think Kendall hit the nail on the head. It was very weird that he was always in the title picture when it was his company.
Right.
Obviously he eventually gave most of it or sold most of it to Dixie Carter, however that worked. But yes, I'm a big Jeff Jarrett fan, so I'm not gonna crap on him here. But he deserves some criticism.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Monty Brown? Justin?
Pass.
Passing on Monty Brown. Marcus Corvon later in WWE. Kendall, do you remember Monty Brown at all? Former New England Patriot, Monty Brown.
I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't watch TNA all the time, and Nerds of Wrestling here. So I'll admit the name slipped my mind. I don't know who that is. Sorry, guys.
I am going to post that on Nerds of Wrestling later that Justin Del Rio did not know Monty Brown. Former New England Patriot.
If I approve it.
Yeah, I know that's true. I'll have to pay somebody. I'll pay Dylan off to approve it. Kendall, what'd you think of Monty Brown?
Man, it was a short run while I lasted, but man, he was my favorite wrestler when I first watched him. I used to love seeing him hit the pounce on motherfuckers, and like that was my favorite move. I don't know why, but he would just come in and just pounce on motherfucker. Like, I love Monty Brown. Like I said, they should have put the world title on him while they had the chance. Like, honestly, that's my opinion. He should have been champion at least one time. Like, even though his promos are kind of iffy, but it fit his character. Like a weird motherfucker that just wants to beat ass. That's what you don't need promo skills for that if you just want to go in there and beat ass. And that's what he was. He just wanted to beat some ass. So he should have been world champion once. But I understand he had to go take care of his sister's kids and because she died and stuff. So
yeah, because he did go to WWE and he was an ECW original. I'm pretty sure he wrestled on WrestleMania 23. I'm pretty sure he was in the ECW originals versus the ECW the New Breed. Or whatever. Yeah,
the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I always was a fan of him. I thought his career was going to be bigger. I thought it was going to be bigger when he went to WWE. But I mean, when you do think of the original TNA and you don't mention Monty Brown, I mean, he was the original guy, you know. I know Justin had to scoot away for just a second. Let's get into a big name, someone I never thought 10 years ago I'd ever see in the WWE, and that is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Johnny, what did you think of AJ Styles' time in TNA?
Like I said, I haven't watched TNA not much in a while, but I liked AJ Styles in TNA, and he is just a phenomenal wrestler. One of the best wrestlers, no matter if it's in WWE or TNA. He dominated TNA, like raised the bar in TNA. We thought that this guy was not going to like who the hell is AJ Styles? Like who the hell is this? And he shocked us. And that's all I have to say. But,
yeah. No, he blew up. I mean, he did wrestle in WCW during the dying days. I believe he was in the cruiserweight tag team title tournament. But yeah, I mean, AJ, you're right. When you think of TNA, if you don't think of AJ Styles,
right,
then
Who's
what
that?
are you thinking?
We're talking about Styles.
Yeah.
Who's that? Never heard of him.
Yeah, I mean, I hope his career turned out okay. Kendall, what'd you think of AJ Styles and
Yeah,
TNA?
no, me too.
Man, if he didn't suffer that career-ending injury, I mean, he could have been a Hall of Famer by now. But in all seriousness, like you said, if you don't think of AJ Styles, we think of TNA, then you're on something. But now, like, then also, if you don't think of that triple threat match between him, Joe, and
Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna point this out. I hate the fact that they tried to do it again, like 4 or 5 years later. I'm like, you can't create a match like that 4 or 5 years later. That's like a once in a lifetime match. And they tried to do it again. I was like, no, you can't do that type of match again.
But, I would have to agree with you guys, though, when you say that when you think of AJ Styles, you think AJ Styles back
like
in
I
TNA.
wasn't talking.
So
yeah.
Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, Justin, what did you think of his time there? I mean, he did leave the company in 2016, kind of did like the CM Punk thing, I'm leaving with the belt, but he actually really did leave with the belt. So,
I mean, hey, kudos to him for going on to WWE because I mean, like he's done so much in WWE, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about his run in TNA. He did fantastic up in TNA. He was great. I don't know when exactly he started wrestling in TNA, but I know that for the years he was there, I know which was for a very long time. He was the mainstay. Everybody knew how phenomenal AJ Styles was up in TNA.
Yeah, I believe he came in the company around the start. He was one of the first champions. He was not the first. Ron Killings was the first champion. But I will say this: the first time I saw the Pele kick, I was like, man, this guy is exactly what he said. He's phenomenal. AJ Styles is going to go down. I mean, honestly, you could put him in any Hall of Fame in any company that he's ever worked in. He really is one of the best.
Yes, totally.
Let's talk about somebody that had a great run in TNA, not so great elsewhere as Braden Walker when he did eventually get to WWE. Talking about Chris Harris. Justin, what's your take on Chris Harris? I mean, he was in America's Most Wanted with James Storm, great tag team wrestler. They were really, really over. It didn't translate when he left. What did you think of Chris Harris's time in TNA?
I don't know who that is.
Wow. Justin Del Rio.
I don't know
Oh my God.
You don't know nobody.
Man, what is happening here?
I'm sorry. Hey,
Kendall, what are your thoughts on Chris Harris?
Like you said, great tag team wrestler. I've never could get behind him as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
Only one match I got behind him as a singles wrestler was a King of a Mountain match with him, Jeff, Abyss, Styles, and Ron Killings. And the way they was pushing him during that little 4 weeks, I was like, he could really win this thing. But other than that, like you said, good singles wrestler. The match I always think of him with is when it was him, Storm versus Triple X. And when Eddie Skipper took that walk and he did that Hurricane, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's like, you always think of TNA, you think of that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Dan, I am very sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. We just, for the record, the owner, creator of Nerds of Wrestling, did not know Monty Brown, did not know Chris Harris. Chris Harris's career kind of ended crappily too, like being Braden Walker. In, you know, they'd bring some of these TNA guys and put them in the new ECW. And Chris Harris also gained a lot of weight when he signed with WWE. And he will go down as one of the most ridiculous promos ever when he told Armando Estrada, knock, knock, who's there? Braden Walker, and I'm going to knock your lights out. And that's the career of Chris Harris in WWE.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that. Oh my God, that was him?
Yeah. It was very bizarre because he was in such great shape when he was with TNA.
Right.
He went to WWE, and I don't know what happened there. But it's going to bring us to somebody else here, his tag team partner, who also had a successful run in another tag team, Beer Money, James Storm. I hope you know who this is, Justin.
Of course I do.
Let's start with you, Justin. Thoughts on James Storm's time in TNA? He was the TNA champion at one point.
Same thing as AJ Styles, in my opinion, at least. When you think of James Storm, you think of his run in TNA. I mean, you know, there's so much wrestling out there. If I botch something, if I make a mistake, I'm sorry.
Fine. There's a lot.
I know he wrestled. Correct me if I'm wrong. He wrestled for a little bit in WWE, right?
Hot minute.
Okay, yeah. There you go. He wrestled for a hot minute in WWE. Did he do a lot in WWE?
No.
Did he do a lot in TNA? Yeah, he did a lot in TNA. He was over more in TNA than he was in TNA. He was over more in TNA than he was in WWE. So there.
I will say when he signed to NXT, I was shocked. I never thought that would happen, and I was really hopeful that he was going to go there. But apparently TNA offered him more money to jump back ship to TNA. Because if you know, those NXT contracts aren't like huge. I believe the average salary of an NXT wrestler is only like $50,000, which that's great money, but like for a professional wrestler, that's not great. Kendall, what did you think of James Storm's time in TNA?
Like you said, great tag team wrestler. He's like, as a singles wrestler, he did great, but his bread and butter was tag team wrestling, whatever it was. Beer Money, AMW, he had like a short tag team with Gunner, where they won the tag team titles. Even him and Abyss won the tag team titles. And that was an odd little thing. I was like, what? But yeah, his main brother was always tag team wrestler. He knew his place. And he never complained. That's what I like about professional wrestlers. Like, he never said, "Oh, I'm done. I'm not going to be no tag team wrestler." He always, he'll get like a singles push. Then he always came back to tag team wrestling because that was, like I said, that was his bread and butter. So,
yeah, no, I agree there. Johnny, what do you think? What did you think of James Storm?
Kind of sounds familiar, but not much. But I think he probably did pretty well in TNA. And then I didn't really expect him to be in WWE. I thought he was probably going to go to somewhere, a different company, like or Ring of Honor or anywhere else. So,
well, Triple H, to my knowledge, was a big fan of his.
Really,
Triple H is also a I know I don't mean to speak for him, but I know he's a massive fan of independent wrestling.
Yeah.
So.
he does totally.
So no, but I think James Storm's career, I mean, he just has 1,000 match in Impact Wrestling. I've always been a James Storm fan. I really have. I loved America's Most Wanted. I loved Beer Money. He'll be at least an Impact Hall of Famer. I'd love to see him get one more run in WWE. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be awesome. Which is going to bring me to my favorite TNA wrestler of all time, which is the It Factor, Bobby Roode, former Impact champion, former TNA champion. Justin, what are your thoughts on Bobby Roode's time in TNA?
He did great. He did great there. I feel like he should have stayed. His run in NXT was nothing short of glorious. But then he went to the main roster, and then they completely just was like, yeah, we don't know what to do with him. And they just, I mean, right now I know he's in a tag team with Dolph Ziggler.
Are they the champions, I believe?
Yeah, they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing. I know they're being pushed kind of hard. I don't know why. I really don't. They beat all the tag teams, but his run in TNA was way better than what they're doing with him in WWE.
Yeah, I'd have to fully agree with that. World champion in TNA.
Yep.
You know, Kendall, what'd you think of Bobby Roode's time in TNA?
I remember Bubba Ray when he was in Team Canada, and I was like,
yes. Oh, good. Yes, you're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I love Team Canada.
Yeah, I remember he was in Team Canada, and even then I was like, he's gonna be something. And when he won the Battle Warrior Series, I was like, man, I was like pushing hard for him. And that's when I was first started watching not wrestling, but TNA. I was like, I hope he wins the world title, but he didn't. And I was like, and I called. I was like, in 3 months, he's gonna be world champion. And in 3 months, he became world champion. And that's when he started the It Factor reign. I loved his It Factor reign so fucking much. He was like a great fucking heel. And after that, like it kind of went up and down, up and down, up and down. And so, but yeah, like Justin said, I think he not stayed in TNA like the state of it now. He would have been like, nope, fuck the shit, I'm out. But I think he should at least tested the water somewhere else, like Ring of Honor, New Japan. And a fun fact, he competed in the first three Wrestle Kingdoms. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Johnny, what are your thoughts?
Bobby Roode. He's he's a great wrestler. Did very well in TNA, doing great in WWE with Justin said with Dolph Ziggler. He's phenomenal. I think.
Did you call me Dustin?
I mean, I did say Justin. Anyway, like I said, he great wrestler, is very talented, and I guess that's all I have to say. Again, I don't know.
No, fair enough. We'll talk about someone recently released by the WWE, who I don't think he's just an Impact Hall of Famer. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. I would say Samoa Joe's work, even in WWE for the short run, is Hall of Fame worthy. I do think that. I don't know what that sound is, but thoughts on
Johnny,
Samoa
turn your
Joe?
vibrator off.
Oh God, I just like what the fuck.
Thoughts? Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what's happening here. Thoughts on Samoa Joe's time in TNA?
Fantastic. He's well known all around the entire world.
Yeah.
New Japan, Impact. He did everything. He did as much as he could do in the world of professional wrestling. Every single person knew who he was even before he got signed to WWE. Yes, Dan, including myself, I knew who Samoa Joe. If I didn't know who Samoa Joe was, I'll just quit. I'll be like, okay, I'm done.
I was getting nervous because I was like, I'm leaving Nerds of Wrestling.
Yeah, no, leave Nerds of Wrestling. Everything. I'll lose like 7,000 members. Like just go down to like 2 members today.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. His career in Impact is 100% Hall of Fame worthy. In Impact, in WWE, he should be in the Hall of Fame just for his wrestling career alone. He didn't do a lot in WWE, but when you think of Samoa Joe, you think of one of like the best wrestlers in the world, and he should 100% be in the WWE Hall of Fame for what he's done in the world of professional wrestling.
Agreed there, and I know it was Great Balls of Fire, whatever that pay-per-view was. But
Wow, Kendall.
if the company believes in you enough to put you in the main event of a pay-per-view, then yeah, you're a pretty big deal. Kendall, what'd you think of Samoa Joe's time in TNA?
I feel like he should have had more than one world title run. If he had that one world title run where it was like lackluster, and he should have that like when I first heard Samoa Joe, he was in Ring of Honor, and he was the world champion for like 600 and some days. But we're talking about TNA. He had a great career overall. He was a tag team champion. He was X Division champion multiple times. Like I said, he should have more than one world title run, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, so he should have just he what's that word? Extended his expectations because I don't know if you know, but Jeff Jarrett wasn't high on him. He wasn't really high on Samoa Joe. He thought he was just another fat guy that was like slopping around the ring. But when he saw him wrestle, he was like, "Oh my god!" He was Keith Lee before Keith Lee was Keith Lee.
I like that comparison. Yeah,
he was Keith Lee before Keith Lee was Keith Lee.
Johnny, what did you think of Samoa Joe's time in TNA?
Like Kendall said, he should have one or more title runs. Another great wrestler, very fantastic wrestler in the ring. Did well in TNA, did well in WWE. Sad that he got released, but in the other way up TNA, he did great feuds with AJ Styles. A lot of them, like a lot of good. Probably did with Bobby Roode too, and really just a phenomenal wrestler. Another phenomenal wrestler, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, honestly, the first time I saw Samoa Joe, I didn't ever really watched a lot of Ring of Honor back in the day, but the first time I saw him on Impact, I was like, this guy's great. And one fun Samoa Joe fact, he not only won the TNA title in Lowell, Massachusetts, he also won the NXT title in Lowell, Massachusetts. So Joe always have ties to this area.
Have you guys you seen the movie Ready to Rumble with David Arquette?
Of course.
Right? Of course. Who didn't see it? There was a part in that movie, you know, that part where him and his friend were in the front row, they're screaming, no, this can happen. It's not even a pay-per-view. They put that part and they mash it up with him beating Finn Balor at an NXT house show.
Oh my god.
I saw that in 2015. I never laughed so hard in my life. And like, you know, they're in the car, they're crying, like, damn it.
Yeah.
I saw that video one time, like 6 years ago, when it happened in 2015.
2016.
Yeah, it came out in 2016. And 5 years later, I cannot find that freaking video. To the person who created it, if you're somewhere out there miraculously watching this at this very moment, please send it to me, and I will buy you 200 free Nerds of Wrestling t-shirts if you find it. And send it to me. Because that is the funniest mashup video I've ever seen in my entire life. That was perfect.
I was going to go to that show too, and then but I was driving to Florida that day.
Oh.
So
you were pretty pissed, huh?
I remember like seeing on Facebook, Samoa Joe wins the NXT. I go, damn it. No one saw that coming. All right, here's a guy now working.
House show.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was just a regular house show, which back then, like, even going to NXT house shows was a big deal because they didn't tour. Well, not that anybody's touring right now, but here's a name, guy now working for. Did we lose Kendall? Now working for WWE. Great career. Abyss. Justin, what are your thoughts on Abyss's career in TNA?
I mean, when you think of Abyss, same thing. Oh, I just spit. When you think of Abyss, same thing you think of. Sorry, I'm eating over here. Same thing you think of AJ Styles. Same thing you think of Samoa Joe. You think of, in my opinion, of TNA. And I feel like his character was more TNA than WWE.
Kendall, what'd you think?
I really liked his work with Father James Mitchell, and I don't know if y'all knew this, but he was supposed to end Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 23, but he stayed loyal to TNA. So I really would have liked to see that and him feuding with Kane. But other than that, he did great in TNA. Um, he was just a big monster that liked to destroy people. That was really his main. He didn't really have no, in my eyes, he didn't really don't have no like set point. He was just a dude that liked to destroy people and cut demonic promos and shit like that. So he was basically their Kane. That's what I'm trying to say. He was basically their Kane and Undertaker.
He was very Kane-ish, for sure. Johnny, what did you think of Abyss?
I got another wrestler that doesn't sound familiar, but I think he was pretty good. I have no things about him, so I think he was pretty good.
Did you see Abyss was supposed to end Taker's career at WrestleMania 23?
Yes.
What the fuck?
That's career, but the streak.
The streak
That was career.
Yeah, but would they have let him be? Would they have let him be Abyss? I mean, I also thought the James. What was he? Did he go by James Parker? I actually enjoyed that too. I think he's a very like talented guy. Like I loved Abyss. I actually, and this is going to get me some heat, I'm sure. I like Abyss better than Kane.
Fair enough. Why would that get you? Hey, it's their opinion.
No, I know. I'm just saying Kane is, WWE Hall of Famer. Yeah. I enjoyed the stuff that Abyss was doing more. I mean, obviously the first run with Kane was unbelievable, but as Kane went on for years, like I didn't feel like Abyss got as stale as Kane did. I could be wrong on that.
I agree.
Also he could do like the hardcore matches better than Glenn Jacobs. Here's a big name. Worked great career in TNA, great career in NXT, not so much on WWE's main roster, but Eric Young. I am a big Eric Young fan. Johnny, what did you think of Eric Young's time from Team Canada to he becomes the world champion, I believe, in 2013? What did you think of his time, Johnny?
Eric Young, another one that does ring a bell to me, but I think he's pretty well. And right now in WWE he's not doing too much, but just I think he was a pretty good wrestler. Very talented. He very very fast in the ring, and just awesome.
All right.
Fucking incredible on NXT. Johnny, he's not in WWE anymore. He was fucking awesome insanity in WWE NXT. They really dropped the fucking ball with him and that whole team in WWE. I don't know why they went to the main roster. When they went to the main roster, I was hyped as fuck, and then they didn't do shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? They should have stayed at NXT. I feel like if they stayed at NXT, Eric Young would have still been employed with WWE.
We are allowing a little more swearing than we usually do on Let Freedom Ring today.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I should have asked permission. My bad. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, we try to be a family show.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. We'll just, we can edit this later.
Beep, awesome. And TNA as well. Beep. I don't know why they beep, 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 beep.
I mean, I agree with you. The stuff they did, Eric Young was not treated right in WWE.
The main roster for sure, but NXT, man, oh my god, they killed it, man.
Yes, they did.
They were so good.
Kendall,
what are your thoughts on Eric Young?
I remember him I remember him back in Team Canada. He was he was a little. I'm not gonna say he was a little bitch. He was a punk. Because he was like, hey. He was like basically Team Canada's lackey. Like whatever. What's his name? He's the general manager. I forgot. Sky D'Amore. He was basically.
Oh yeah. Now he's running TNA with Callis, basically.
Yeah. He'll do everything. He'll be like, hey, go do this. I remember one storyline. they basically like he said go. They're like go take this to Sting locker room. That's the whole Minute Mafia thing, and
Yes.
they was like go send this to Sting locker room before the match. I think it was like laxative, like it was lemonade mixed with laxative, and he was like, "Oh, take this to Sting locker room now." And he was like, "Man, I'm thirsty." And he drunk the lemonade, and I was like, "What the hell, Eric? You're not supposed to drink that." And Sting ended up beating Bobby to retain the world title. But like down the road, I was happy he won the world title. Even though Magnus's reign was kind of good, it should have never ended on free TV because they was trying to make Eric Young their Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
That's what really made me mad. They were trying to make Eric Young their Daniel Bryan.
And that was
Like
the
I
big,
said,
that was the big criticism at the time, right? Was everybody's like, you're just copying what WWE's doing.
yeah. And so I feel like Magnus should have lost, but not on free TV. He should have lost that pay per view. I think it was Lockdown, but he should have never lost on free TV. That's why I don't like major like world title victories on free TV. I'm like, we could have had this on the pay per view, or you could have made us pay for it.
I mean, I enjoy that I didn't have to pay to see that, but you're right. If you're going to go for the big payoff, you should do it on pay-per-view. I just want to say one other thing. Scott D'Amore should get more credit for being a wrestling genius. He's never worked for WWE, but this guy does have a very creative mind. And since him and Don Callis are kind of running Impact, it's been so much better. Like, why is he getting like Scott D'Amore should be talked about more as being. I mean, I'm not saying he's up there with Heyman, but he's a genius.
In due time, people will realize like how brilliant that man is, and all good things are worth waiting for. So in due time.
Yeah, I think he's like an unsung hero that nobody talks about. Like Scott D'Amore does very good things for Impact Wrestling, and Don Callis too. It's like these are guys that Don Callis should have had a bigger career in WWE. The Jackal was horrible. Like it wasn't good, but Don Callis can talk.
I'm sorry. Can you imagine him and like Paul Heyman going at it like and now like right now like imagine like Roman Reigns to Paul Heyman and like someone else not Kenny Omega in WWE, but like just imagine Don Callis with like Brock Lesnar or something. Yeah. Oh my god!
I think Vince, that was a miss because I think Vince saw big things for Don Callis when he did have him. They just didn't know how to put it together, and the guy's a wrestling genius.
Yeah, because they had Paul Heyman. They didn't know what to do with him. They're like, well, we already have Paul Heyman. We don't want to get rid of him. But
you mean right now? Because if you remember, you know who hires Don Callis when he leaves the World Wrestling Federation?
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. It brings him on the commentary team, and that's when they created the network because Heyman was so pissed off with TNN at the time. And the person representing the network was Don Callis.
Really?
He was on commentary with Joey Styles. And every week he'd come out, well, the network is the one stripping Rob Van Dam of the TV title.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, in real life, he got hurt. He got hurt.
Yeah, he was definitely hurt. And at the time then, too, Scotty Riggs, I believe, was like with Rob Van Dam in ECW. So, honestly, in my honest opinion, Scott D'Amore, Don Callis, wrestling geniuses. I wish they got more credit than they get. That's just me personally.
AEW is doing such a phenomenal job with cross branding, and I feel like Don Callis is really gonna take over Impact. Is it gonna beat WWE? Absolutely not. But when Impact is up there and one of like the best promotions in the world, it's going to be because of Scott and Don.
Totally agree. And I think and we're going to get into this in a little bit. I know we're kind of going off topic, but what they're doing tonight is one of the most unique ideas I've seen in wrestling in a long time. I know we're in a pandemic and it makes it easier when everybody's in Florida or wherever they are, which I believe Impact has been filming in Florida. This is like a great freaking idea, but we will get into that in a second. I want to talk about Nick Aldis, Magnus, current, maybe one of the longest reigning NWA champions of all time. Kendall, what did you think of his time in Impact or TNA, I should say? I think he was in both. You know.
I remember him in British. He was in World Elite with him and Doug Williams. That's when I
Yes.
first remember him. And he wasn't as mature as he was now, which he shouldn't be. He was more of a cornball, as I say. He was more of a cornball, but over time he became more of a, great wrestler. I feel like he started peaking out when he won the world title, even though he won it in like a bullshit ass way because he had like Dixie and
Dixieland. Yeah, they were doing the Dixieland
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And when he had the unification match with Styles, even though we already seen the writing on the wall, like Styles is leaving. To me, I feel like Styles should have won and actually took the belt to New Japan. That would have been like so lit to put TNA on the map. If AJ would have just won, like took the belt to New Japan, then he won a New Japan World Title or something like that.
And I believe they paid AJ for a one-off because his contract, they actually CM Punk signed right back with WWE or whatever. AJ Styles' contract was over when they put the title on him.
Yeah.
Which was something, he really could. I mean, I know he took it to other places, but AJ really could have screwed them. And that shows how much of a class act that he is. He didn't do that.
Right.
Justin, what did you think of Magnus's time in TNA?
So I mean, I don't really remember much of him in TNA, to be honest. I know he wrestled for TNA for a while, but I mean, I feel like he's more known right now in NWA than his time in TNA.
I thought he was a big name in TNA around 2013, 2014. I think he was one of the biggest names on their roster at that time. I know now you think of him as NWA, but Johnny, what did you think of Magnus? Do you know who Magnus is, Johnny?
Not really.
Oh, damn it!
Sorry, I don't.
Do you know who Nick Aldis is?
Yeah, Nick Aldis.
Do you know who Nick Aldis is?
No.
I have to.
Mickey James' husband.
Yeah.
NWA champion.
I forgot they was married. Oh my.
Yeah.
Why you just? I forgot they was married.
I just want to bring it up really quick. I know this is completely off topic, Dan. If you don't,
we can do it. Honestly, we're just shooting the breeze. We can do it.
So did you guys see what happened with Mickey James?
Yeah.
So messed up. Mark Carrano, I think Mark Carrano was the one who sent that back, and he's done. They let him go.
Yeah, that's bad PR. But I will say about Mickey though, she's got to let it go, because she kept going.
Oh, did she?
I was treated so badly in WWE. It's like, Mickey, you're a Hall of Famer. You are a certified Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody can debate that. But this run was this is going to sound awful, but you're lucky that they brought you back for this run. You're not a top star anymore in a women's division.
I feel like she's going to be brought to NWA. She's going to go with her husband at NWA. I think we talked about this a little bit on my show before when we were making predictions to see where so-and-so was going to go, where they were going to go. I feel like she's going to go to NWA and put over the newer talent. She's not going to be champion there, but I feel like she will be just there to kind of put over in a way the younger independent wrestling up-and-comers.
There's cool stuff you can do there too, because they've never. I don't believe Nick Aldis and Mickey James have ever been on screen as a couple. I don't think that's ever happened. So there's so many things you could do with her.
Like you said, then now, like you said, she's a certified Hall of Famer now, but right now, she can't be a top star. With some of these older wrestlers, your time has passed.
It's not 2006 anymore.
No, I mean, Trish Stratus isn't coming in there and winning the women's title. Right. And she was a bigger star than Mickey James was. So
and Trish put her over at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I get where her frustration probably is, but at the same time, you should be happy that they ever brought you back, because honestly, even when they did bring her back, it didn't make a lot of sense. I think she came in the steel cage with Alexa Bliss, was wrestling somebody. It didn't really fit. I still don't think that fit.
No. I think I was mad when I was hyped to see it, but I was mad at the crowd's reaction. Like, yo, how are you not cheering for Mickie James? Like, do you not know who she is? Like, what? Like, I popped hard for that spot, but I feel like she should have been gone a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm always going to love Mickie James. Don't get me wrong, but I think she's overselling what her worth is to WWE.
Right.
Her worth to NWA would be much higher. Her worth to Impact would be much higher. I think she's overestimating like what she could mean to that company right now.
Johnny, what do you think
about what's going on is how she got? I mean, well, right now, I think what they did to her was wrong for throwing her stuff in a trash bag.
Right.
Very disrespectful. That's not right. I don't blame Triple H and Stephanie McMahon being about that. And when she came back to WWE, I don't know. I probably still said, she should have won when she faced Alexa Bliss, but I'm like, when's she going to be like a 7-time champion? But yes, that didn't happen for some reason.
But I just don't think like at this point in her career, she needed to be champion. That is not why they brought her back. So in any job, you want to be appreciated, right? And I feel like, yeah, they definitely didn't. They underappreciated her. But at the same time, I'm not sure what she wanted out of that run.
Right.
I guess she probably just wanted to wrestle a few matches.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, there's only so much you can do at that point. All right, let's bring us into another one. Now, when this guy was signed with TNA, I was super excited. More excited than when he was signed with AEW. Because as much as I love this performer, one of my favorites of all time, I wasn't excited for his AEW signing. Christian Cage, which was awesome when he came to TNA. It was awesome. What did you guys think of his time in TNA? Justin, we'll start with you.
So he definitely went over more as a singles competitor in Impact. I feel like it was a smart move for him just to really branch out and do his own thing in Impact. When he was, he had a good run as a singles competitor in WWE, but I feel like Impact was kind of more his speed. He started off as Edge and Christian in WWE, doing this stuff with Gangrel and whatnot, Edge and Christian. But then I don't think he really did. When did he go to Impact? Dan?
2006. 2005, 2000 and 2005.
Okay, so he really kind of took the ball and ran with it. That was like a little bit after WrestleMania 21 then.
Yes.
So I remember he was a singles guy in 05. He's doing stuff. I remember he was in that Money in the Bank ladder match. I forgot who his manager was. But
I remember.
Who was his manager? That big guy. Forgot his name.
Tyson Popco.
There you go. Thank you.
And he brought him to Impact with him.
Smart as hell. So I feel like he really TNA kind of elevated his career even more as a singles guy, because when he came back to WWE, he already had the experience as a singles guy. So Impact really helped him a lot. Christian's always going to be a legend no matter where he goes. So anywhere he goes, I'm going to be happy for him. But I feel like his run in TNA was a bit more successful than it was in WWE. Granted, even though he was world champion.
Well, I was just going to say that, when he came back to WWE, they believed in enough they put the ECW title on him pretty quick.
Right.
And they're like, you're going to be the face of this show. And then he got the world title a few, after Edge got hurt. But I mean,
yep.
Does Christian ever get a world championship run in WWE if he didn't go to TNA? I don't know.
Nope.
No. Because like I said, I feel like Impact helped him out a lot as a singles guy.
I agree. Kendall, what did you think? Did you like Christian Cage in TNA?
Yes. Underrated comment I'm about to say. His TNA theme was better than his WWE theme. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but his TNA theme
I
to
think you might
me
be
was
right.
better.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. He was treated so different. I mean,
Yeah,
we talked about Jeff Jarrett putting himself over. Jeff Jarrett put over Christian
yeah.
in a time where Jeff Jarrett really didn't do that all the time. You know, Johnny, any thoughts on Christian Cage in Impact Wrestling or TNA? I should say at the time.
Christian
You
Cage.
know who that is, right?
Yeah, no, I met him.
Well, I know that like because he has a different last name. He has a last name in TNA, so we just want to make sure.
I know who he is. I definitely know. We all know who he is.
Yeah.
Hey, he did great and really did great. And also did too. And I have to agree with Ken. I think his theme in TNA is WWE. You know, I mean, and then when he went to AEW, I fans are gonna be probably upset. I was not expecting him to join AEW because he was just in the Royal Rumble this past few months ago, and now he just went to AEW, which that to me brought in shock, which I was not expecting.
I'm gonna be honest. I was so let down by that. And I love AEW. Don't get me wrong. I would have been. I know Andrade was still under contract at this point, but I would have popped harder for Andrade being.
But listen. Would you rather have him as a special announcement or Big Show?
I actually would have taken Big Show. I think they did a crappy job putting it on social media. If the Big Show would have walked out on that pay-per-view, to me, that was a bigger deal. And here's why. Christian had already jumped to other companies. We'd already seen it happen. Obviously, we're talking about him in TNA. It just wasn't that cool of a surprise. Like Tony Khan, you kind of dropped the ball on this one. I mean, yeah, Big Show would have been a bigger deal. But instead, you announced Big Show on social media, and it was like, oh my God, but why are you not doing that on pay-per-view? If you're going to have a big announcement, Big Show's a bigger deal than Christian. And I love Christian, don't get me wrong. But we could have called that because we knew he was wrestling again.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But like Johnny, like you said, I feel like, I mean, it's not a big deal for someone to appear on the Rumble and then go to another promotion. I mean, Carlitos did it, and now he's done with it. I mean, it's just a one-time thing. I mean, it was a one-day contract.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I get so passionate about that because honestly, I love Christian Cage. I love Christian. Don't get me wrong. That AEW announcement was probably one of the bigger letdowns because Big Show also said it's not who you think it was, and we all kind of thought that's who it was. So, all right, Tony, you got one over on us. Chris Saban. What do you guys think of Chris Saban? Justin?
They're great in Impact. Another name that a lot of people remember Chris Saban by in Impact. I liked his run in Impact. He did great.
Kendall?
Great tag team wrestler. I liked his work with Alex Shelley as well as the Machine Guns. Another fun fact is with him, Alex Shelley, and Robert Roode competed in the first ever match in Wrestle Kingdom history. It was a triple threat tag team match between Motor City Machine Guns, Beer Money, and a Japanese team. I forgot their name. It was somebody, but they competed in the first ever Wrestle Kingdom match in history. So that's what I was trying to get to earlier. The first ever Wrestle Kingdom match in Wrestle Kingdom history. Because they just started doing Wrestle Kingdom in like 2006. So but I liked his work with Alex Shelley. I liked his work in the X Division. I liked his world title run when Ace's Lake was going to shit. That was like he was like the he was like the last domino of it. Like when he beat
is that when he got because he got his title run right around there, right?
Yeah.
Johnny, thoughts? Do you know who Chris Saban is?
Yeah.
All right. Justin, can you revoke his Nerds of Wrestling for like a week?
Yeah.
Please. You don't know who Magnus is, bro. You don't know who Nick Aldis is, the current NWA World Champion. That revokes it right there.
I didn't watch TNA that much.
But you don't watch NWA now?
You know what?
Huh?
You don't watch NWA now?
Yeah, a little bit. I mostly watch a little bit of AEW, but not too much. I'm all right.
It's okay. It's okay. Justin, can you revoke his membership? 1 week suspension.
No.
1 week suspension.
No.
I mean,
I'm
know,
saying
I know who Chris Saban is. I mean, I don't know every single detail about him, but I know who he is.
Okay, I'll take that. You know who he is.
John doesn't even know him.
I'm
Come on, Johnny.
I'm slightly offended, but I'll get over it.
It's okay. It's all right. We don't have to know every single person.
1 week suspension.
no.
We're gonna have Dylan run Nerds of Wrestling for 1 week. Justin, no, I'm just kidding. Would you guys think?
You're suspending me from my own creation.
Suspending from your own show, your own podcast. 1 week. Bully Ray. We all know who Bully Ray is.
If Johnny did not know who Bully Ray is, kick him out.
He's also goes by Bubba Ray Dudley, Johnny.
Yes, I know who he is.
All right,
the Dudley Boys.
Yeah,
Johnny. Your thoughts on Bully Ray in TNA?
Another fantastic wrestler. I love his character, Bubba Ray. You know, and him in WWF, TNA, all around, he just amazing. I love the way when they go get that, and they slam for the tables and stuff like that. It's just awesome.
I just got a text message from Eli.
Yeah,
he said I second vote. Yep, he supports it. So Johnny, you are banned for a week on Nerds of Wrestling.
1 week.
No, stop. This is bad.
1 week. No,
One
you
week.
can come back. No. There has to be some sort of like ramifications for this. 1 week ban. You bring him back.
Or you gotta confess your love for someone live on here.
or I want you to go on Wikipedia and I want you to research the history of Impact Wrestling. And then there's gonna be a quiz.
So pick one, either the quiz, ban, or you gotta confess your love for someone live right now.
Confess someone's love right now.
Do it.
No, kick him out. You already know how I feel about that.
You guys do to me all the time.
Do it. Who do you love, Johnny?
Does it have to be a famous wrestler or no?
No, you know who we're talking about. You know who we're talking about. You just asked her out today.
SJ.
Now, is this an independent wrestler? Like, can someone fill me in on this?
Who is SJ? Where is she from?
She's from Texas.
He wasn't there.
She's from Texas. Is she cute?
Yeah, I believe like in
Yes.
30 minutes.
What do you like about her?
I think she's great. She's a great wrestler.
Name one match of hers.
The one she had recently, I guess.
Okay, against who?
Why is everyone always asking questions?
I mean, I take no. This is more Justin's thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm taking over your show.
I'm like, all right, but all right. So Bully Ray, we all liked him. I'm gonna go through a couple more that I just wanted. Eddie Edwards, New England guy. Kendall, what did you think of Eddie Edwards in TNA so far?
I liked his run with the Wolves and Ring of Honor, and TNA. He came in as like the bodyguard for MVP, and I was like, okay. I thought it was gonna be like one, and then I was like, okay, I know this guy from Ring of Honor. He's just gonna show up, then leave. Okay, then he became tag team champions in those series of matches with the Dudleys and Team Hardy. Then, like after that, he became world champion and exhibition champion. But now he's not doing shit. Like his run is like lame as hell. Like, but his early days in TNA, they were like actually good. But now in TNA, I think he just stuck around just to stick around. He could do way more in New Japan if he went, and Ring of Honor if he went back. Like now in TNA, like what is he doing? He's feuding with fucking Kurt
Yeah, he's in
Hawkins.
he's in some match tonight that's not great. What about you, Justin? What do you think of Eddie Edwards?
He's great.
Die Hard Eddie Edwards.
Huh?
Die Hard Eddie Edwards.
I mean, I just want to go back really quick, if you don't mind, on Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray, in my opinion, could go over anywhere.
I agree.
Anywhere he goes, he's gonna go over. Obviously, everybody remembers him from WWF, WWE, but his run in Impact was great. I mean, he didn't need Impact. Impact did not. I mean, he did not need Impact like at all. He could have gone over anywhere. Like that's my opinion. But Eddie Edwards, same thing. Eddie Edwards is more of an indie guy. He's more of a guy who should stay in Impact. I can't really see him in WWE. That's just my opinion. When you think of Eddie Edwards, a lot of people don't even know who Eddie Edwards is. So,
which is unfortunate.
Because he's a great wrestler, great dude. I met him a few times. New England guy. Fun fact. In 2013 at CTWE, last show ever, I saw in person, second row, Johnny Gargano versus Eddie Edwards. So that was pretty cool to see. I met Johnny Gargano once. But anyway, that's besides the fact. But yeah, no, Eddie Edwards is more of an Impact guy.
You're so cool because you met Johnny Gargano.
100%,
so
bro.
Cool.
I do. Hell yeah, I do. Be jealous.
Yeah, I went to a Evolve show and I chose to meet Matt Riddle because I'd already met Tommaso Champa.
See, I never met Champa. I met Matt Riddle. He follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, but the cool thing about Champa was this: I didn't pay for it.
Oh.
He was at a chaotic show. I forget what the town it was. He couldn't be nicer. I walked up to him and was like, "Oh my god, like hey." He was talking to Brian Fury because Fury obviously trained a lot of these guys, or
right.
It was around that time.
Sasha Banks, yep.
And then this is the cool thing about Tommaso Ciampa that he deserves a lot of credit for. He was injured at the time. Now he'd already wrestled in Chaotic Wrestling. He stood. He tried to walk out of there because he just wanted to watch the show, and he stood in the like lobby, and everybody just lined up to take pictures with him. And I swear to God, he took pictures with everyone that asked. He didn't try to big time them or anything. He legit. He wasn't like, "Hey, $5, $10." No, Tommaso Ciampa stood in there and took pictures with every single fan that asked. That's pretty freaking cool.
That's awesome. I love wrestlers like that. I mean, yeah, there are. I mean, like a lot of guys, a lot of wrestlers can make like, $5 for a picture, but they don't need it. They're like, yeah, hey, like kudos to those are the best kind of wrestlers out there.
No, it was super cool to see. Like, I mean, he didn't need to do that. He could just walk to his car, but he decided, you know what? These people love me, and especially they love me around here. And he was really cool. Tommaso Ciampa, big ups to Tommaso Ciampa.
He was trained in New England. He wrestled for Brian Fury trained him. So
I think they were on the same. I don't know if I know Fury had Impact on his career, but I don't know if he actually, because Fury and him are about 5 years difference. But I wouldn't be surprised if Malonis had some training with him, or Ivar as well. The brand new bad Todd Hansen. I'm sure. I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly who trained Tommaso Ciampa, but he is a New England Pro Wrestling Academy guy.
Exactly. So, absolutely.
We lose Kendall.
Yeah, we lost Kendall.
All right, last one that I'm going to do today, because we want to talk about this. This is the first time ever that the World Championship, I guess men's, as you would say, World Championship, went to a woman. Tessa Blanchard, currently not with any company right now. Johnny, what are your thoughts? I'm pretty sure you know who Tessa Blanchard is.
Yes.
I was going to say, if you didn't know who she was, bro.
Johnny, what are your thoughts on Tessa Blanchard?
Like, we're in another company.
Yeah, I mean, first women's world champion. Like,
right.
Not a women's title, the world championship, which I'm not trying. I don't want that to come off sexist. That's what it is.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Tessa Blanchard in TNA or Impact Wrestling, I should say?
She was really deep in the ring. I totally remember matches, but not too much. But she had, I guess. not too bad.
Okay. Justin?
She had a high impact in Impact. She did so much in that company. A lot of people, and for a lot of wrestlers, a lot of people will remember you by one company. And a lot of people remember Tessa Blanchard from Impact. She wrestled all over the world. She wrestled everywhere. But I remember from Impact. She had a great run in Impact. It's a shame what happened. I don't know who's gonna pick her up. I don't know where she's gonna go. But yeah, I mean, I liked her in Impact. She did her thing, and she really held her ground.
I know she's got a lot of heat for things that she's done or said, but someone's got to sign her. She should be on TV. Tessa Blanchard should be in your living room every single week.
Who do you see signing her though?
That's what I said.
Who do you see?
AEW, her dad's there.
Yeah,
And they need it.
Not WWE. Not WWE.
I don't see yeah. AEW could use her.
Will she? But we all know though, if she goes to AEW, she's gonna be pushed to the fucking moon, and that's gonna leave a lot of talented women in the dirt, in the back.
I feel like that roster is getting a little bit better all the time. I gotta say, like, who's the chance? Sheeta is great. Britt Baker has really developed her character.
She's
like Britt Baker,
she's taking that title.
She is fantastic. And you know what the thing is? Her matches could be crap. She's that good of a character. Her character is that good. But her matches aren't crap. So I just want to make that clear. But yeah, no, I think Tessa would be great there. And you got Chris Statlander there too. Penelope Ford, like they because that's been the biggest criticism of AEW is that their women's division's not good. I think it's getting better, and I think Tessa would actually elevate it quite a bit. Yes.
I don't think you were on my show last week where we were talking about who do you see going where from the releases. Do you see Billy Kay and Peyton Royce going to AEW?
I think that's a no-brainer.
Sean Spears is in AEW. Peyton Royce, they're together.
Well, I mean, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm not signing everybody that got released.
Right? No, you don't want to. But those two should definitely be signed to AEW.
Oh yeah, they should get them and Samoa Joe. I think that's a no-brainer. I thought Peyton Royce was doing her best work that I've ever seen. Her promo that she cut on Raw Talk was like awesome. I felt that. I felt it.
What did she say? She said something like, "If I'm not in the title picture, then
like, what are you doing with me? Give me Asuka." And she did this great promo, and I was like, "Man, this is the best I've seen out of Peyton. Like, this is awesome." And then, they released her after WrestleMania.
I hate to talk about WWE when we're talking about AEW. I just want to bring up really quick. I stand very strong on this opinion till this day. The fact that they even split the Iconics up was the stupidest thing.
It was.
And WWE does a lot of stupid shit.
You mean like Enzo and Kaz? Split them for no reason.
Yep. So there's a lot of tag teams out there who should not be split up.
I agree.
Peyton Royce and Billy Kay should not have been splitting up. They did their own thing. They if anything, split them up and then bring them back, like they do for a lot of tag teams, like they did for the Riot Squad. But they didn't put the Iconics back together, which blows my mind. Like they were so over. They were so. I mean, they went over. Sasha Banks and Bayley put them over at WrestleMania.
No, Justin, I couldn't agree anymore with you.
So we get passionate about this shit, bro.
Kendall, what do you think of Tessa Blanchard? Is Kendall still here?
Kendall.
Herb to Kendall.
He's not here. I don't know where he is.
All right, hold on. I want to get into the picks for tonight.
We're
gonna do I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick.
I gotta use the restroom too. Yeah, I gotta use the restroom.
Let's do that. I know this is a longer episode. This is actually a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Like I'm loving this. So all right. We'll be right back. We're going on commercial.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Awkward silence. This is so weird. So weird. So weird.
Oh, we're still alive. Look at that. Is anybody else watching? Is anybody even watching? Oh, there's Dan.
And we're back.
We are back from the bathroom.
Back to the back.
I appreciate everybody being patient as these things do happen live on the air.
Sorry, guys.
Now, Justin, before we go into it, you were on a podcast earlier today. He's talking about doing a 16-hour stream.
Tyler's amazing.
He's got a radio voice for sure.
He graduated from Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like he has like that radio.
Yeah. No, Tyler's a good dude. You know Dylan. So Dylan Braccia, who's been on my show more times than I could count. I know his I know him. I know his family from
Kendall's back. We got him.
I knew them. I knew Dylan from Tungus, where I went to college. I went to college, and I knew his family. They ran the cafe.
Really give them.
I'm talking. They ran the cafe. They own the cafe in Tungus, so that's where I went to school. And Tyler worked there, so I knew them all from Tungus. I'm sorry, Kendall. What?
Justin, I really didn't give a fuck.
Did you shoot your shot yet with your girl?
No.
We got a lot of profanity today on.
I'm so sorry. Kendall, you never should have said anything. I'm gonna keep asking you. Johnny.
I'm not used. I haven't been on a podcast in a long time because somebody doesn't want to let me on their podcast no more. So
somebody
I really haven't been on nobody.
Someone doesn't show their face. Someone doesn't show their face.
I've never show my face. Why gotta show my face?
You're live on air. You're live.
People don't. I'm live on air, or people can also listen to your podcast on Spotify. So, think about the people that listen to your podcast. Why they got? They ain't looking at my face. So why should I show my face?
Doesn't matter because people are watching my show. They got to see your face, man.
What? 2 people?
No,
your cat and your dog.
No, 2 people.
All right, let's get into some predictions, not some rivalries that we got going on here. All right, so big show tonight. Obviously historic. We'll get into I don't want to talk about the event first, but let's just talk about some of the matches here. We got Fire and Flavor, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz, who has wrestled a lot in this area. Big fan of Tasha Steelz.
Met her a few times.
Versus Jordane Grace. Is it Gracie?
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. Any relation to Paul Ellering? Do we know that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Johnny, let's start with you because you know all the wrestlers.
Yeah, Johnny. I don't even know why Johnny's running Nerds of Wrestling. Like, I think I should just give him Nerds of Wrestling.
Johnny, who you got?
For my prediction, I think Jordan Grace should win.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, well, her partner was Jazz, right, for a little bit, and now Jazz has retired. Yeah.
I'm biased, and I'll tell you why. I love Jordan Grace, and who is her partner?
Ellering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love them both. But I love Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Keep the titles on them.
Love everybody.
Oh, I love Kiera Hogan.
Whoa! She is the daughter of Paul Ellering. Wow.
Oh,
that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
I love Kiera Hogan. I met her a couple years ago, and I almost fainted. That was it. So yeah, that's bad.
Kendall, who you got?
I'm kind of biased too because Flurry and Flavor wrestled down here a lot. So I gotta go with them because I've seen them all the time down here, and when they were first starting out. Even though they're like, I know Kiara Hogan's like 5, 6 years in, but I've seen her when she wrestled down here a lot, so I gotta go with her.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with you on that one. I'm gonna be a little bit biased. Tasha Steeles has wrestled for Chaotic Wrestling quite a bit. She was part of the culture with Christian Casanova, Royce Bishop, and Triplicious, and that was probably my favorite stable of the independent in our area. So I don't want to pick against her. So I'm gonna go with Tasha Steeles and her partner Kiara Hogan. But that is kind of fascinating that Rachel Ellering is her dad's Paul Ellering. Johnny, do you know who Paul Ellering is?
If you don't know, kick him out. Please kick him out.
He's getting a 1-week suspension from Nerds of Wrestling. 1 week.
No, he does sound familiar. Why is everyone doing this to me?
Paul Ellering was the manager of Legion of Doom or the Road Warriors.
I remember Legion
and Authors of Pain.
You know that. So yeah, it is in your time, Johnny. You know who the Authors of Pain are.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know Paul Ellering?
No, but the name doesn't. I think the face does. Maybe face.
Okay. Did you watch NXT?
Yeah.
Did you watch NXT?
You know the AOP?
I always watch.
You know the Authors of Pain?
Yeah.
How's the manager?
You guys, yeah, I know what they are. Yeah, I know they got the ball head. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, who are the Road Warriors? What are their two names?
Road Warrior Hawk, Road Warrior Animal.
Okay, all right. He's all right.
Oh,
Justin, only a week suspension. If he didn't know that, I was gonna say that's a month, but he didn't know.
Okay,
didn't know that.
I got one for you. Name all the members of the NWO.
Oh Jesus, that's almost impossible. I mean, there's
Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash.
All of them.
Hold on, let me.
All 50 of them.
Hulk 50. What?
That's gonna be. I don't even know if I could do that.
Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, X-Pac.
Well, he was 6-Pac at the time.
Wait, did he name everybody? I missed it.
Macho Man was.
Okay.
I kind of want to get on this.
Eric Bischoff.
Bischoff.
Who else? NWO.
Scott Norton. Buff Bagwell. Stevie Ray.
Oh, so many of them. I thought it was just those. Holy cow.
Hogan's nephew there. Horace Hogan. The Disciple. Wow, there's so many. Like this is almost impossible.
See, that's hard because I can't. I mean, I know some. I can't even name everybody.
The great Muda? No. It wasn't Muda. It was what was the Japanese wrestler that was there?
Hey Dan, I'm gonna send my Andrew, who's been on the show before.
Sure.
I'm gonna send him
like
the
NWO, like Mexico.
Yeah. Oh man, that is like, man, that should be a money question if you could actually name all the members of the NWO. I mean, Sting and Luger, you can count them because they were in the Wolf Pack, right? Michael Wall Street joined. IRS joined at some point, right? Bubba Ray Rogers joined at one point, right? Am I right on that? The Big Boss Man? Did he join? I'm pretty sure he did. To go through the whole NWO, that's, oh my God.
That's actually an easier question.
Johnny, I'll never be, I would never give you crap for not being able to name all the members of the NWO. That is like
to determine his stay in Nerds of Wrestling.
Okay, all right.
What?
All
right, Johnny. Okay. No, I'm going to ask you a fair question. And Justin, if he does not get this right, you suspend him 1 month from the Nerds of Wrestling.
I'm not answering.
Who? Okay, this is something every wrestling fan knows. Who was in the corner of Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 1?
Cowboy Bob Orton.
All right, he's good. All right. Who did they face?
Hulk Hogan, Mr. T.
Who was in their corner?
Snuka.
Okay, all right. I was worried. I was worried if you didn't know that. Because, I mean,
I
like,
watched all WrestleManias. I watched all of them.
Johnny, what was the main event of WrestleMania 11?
Where was the hell?
Bam Bam Bigelow against the football player.
I need his name. Or 2-month suspension.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yes, so he got it.
Where was the hell? If you don't get this right, where you get a year suspension.
XL Center, Hartford.
There you go.
All right. He's cleared.
Civic Center. Can we keep asking him questions after
No,
this?
Should we just
I'll leave.
After.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
Let's get through these picks.
I'm sorry.
All right. So we got Chris Saban, Eddie Edwards, James Storm, and Willie Mack versus Violent by Design. Actually, this looks really good. Eric Young, Diener, Joe During, and Rhino. Who you guys got? That sounds actually. I wish this was. I wish this was like an elimination. I wish it was like a Survivor Series type match. But
Is that a tag team match?
Yeah, it's an 8-man tag.
I just said I'm just gonna pick it just to pick it. The first 4 people you said.
Yeah,
I don't watch Impact that much. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna pick the first 4 people I heard. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a fun match. Honestly,
I gotta watch it. They're offering 2 free months, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that.
I gotta watch it tonight, dude. I have to.
Kendall, who you got?
Didn't Eric Young tear his ACL? So I don't know how that's going. That's what I heard. He tore his ACL, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But unless they pre-taped it, that's the only way how. Unless they pre-taped the match. But I got Team Storm.
Okay,
That's what that.
I like that. Johnny, what do you got?
The Violent team. That team that you said before.
Violent by Design.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
We got Trey Miguel versus Sammy Callahan. Is there any stipulation to this? Last man standing.
Ooh. Should be.
I'm gonna go. Sammy Callahan could use a win. Kendall, who you got? Do you lose Kendall?
I'm still here.
Oh, are you thinking?
I didn't know you called me at first. I got Sammy Callahan because ever since he lost the world title to a woman. No offense to women, but like I love women. But he's been like downhill ever since he lost to Tessa, so whatever it is. I said Tesla. Oh my god. Ever since he lost the world title to Tessa Blanchard, he's been like a slump. So he needs to win like against Trey Miguel.
I agree. Justin?
Trey Miguel.
Trey Miguel with the upset over Sammy Callahan. All right.
100%.
I'm going Sammy Callahan. Now, here's a match that we've all probably wanted to see for a very long time. We got the 2 major brothers. Spoiler alert, they're not real brothers. But we got Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, a.k.a. Well, I can't think of his name right now. Kurt Hawkins. I'm excited for this. I don't remember a time that they've had a match. 2 best friends. They do a wrestling figure podcast.
Oh, they're wrestling each other.
They are wrestling each other, yeah.
Ooh.
Justin, who you got?
I feel like this match honestly could go either way. I'm not gonna make a prediction. I would not if I watch it. I'm not gonna be upset with the outcome of the match. So I'm not gonna pick anybody.
Okay, that's a first here on Wrestling Edition with Left Frame Ring. Johnny, who you got?
This match should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna go for Matt Cardona on this.
All right, Kendall.
Same. I got Matt Cardona.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go woo, Matt Cardona, and I'd like to see.
Gonna be like boo hoo hoo.
I want to see more of him. I've always been a Zack Ryder fan. Ace Austin versus Jason Alexander versus TJP, first ever WWE Cruiserweight Champion. Who you guys got? Justin?
I'm sorry, can you repeat those names one more time?
We got Ace Austin.
Okay.
I got who is Only
Ace
20.
Austin. Ace Austin versus TJP versus. Josh
Josh.
Alexander. I got Josh Alexander.
I like that pick. He's kind of left without it since Ethan Page has now left the company. The North is obviously not a tag team anymore. Is this for the title? Is this for the next division title? Let me see here.
Johnny, you okay over there?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, this is for the X Division Championship. So
Ace Austin is currently the champion, right?
I believe Ace Austin. Yeah, he is the champion. Young guy. I don't know. Who you got, Kendall?
Yeah. I got Ace Austin. He's like 22, 23.
24.
I think. 24. I know he was around that age.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense. For him to retain? What do you think, Johnny?
I'm gonna pick TJP.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be pissed off if he wins that title because I know a lot of people are not very fond of that guy.
I like TJP, but I don't know. I honestly, who did he beat in the finals? He beat Grand Metalik, right?
No, I think he beat I thought he beat Brian Kendrick.
No, I thought it was Grand Metalik in the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah, it was Grand Metalik.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I would have gone, honestly, I love Grand Metalik. I would have gone with him over. I guess I'm not that big of a TJP fan. So I'm going to go Ace Austin to retain. We got Deonna Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo, get it right.
Purrazzo. I apologize. I'm gonna get a suspension from Nerds of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Soon. Versus Tanel Dashwood with Caleb with K.
Caleb Conley.
Okay, this for the Impact Women's Knockouts Championship, which I don't know why they are calling
Deonna Purrazzo is going to retain that title. I'm biased. I love Deonna Purrazzo. I'm surprised you don't even. You know who she is, right? Dan, you never heard of her?
No, she was released by WWE, right?
Yeah, she's wrestled a few times up in Connecticut.
Yeah. So
Deonna Purrazzo.
This is like a second chance for her. Obviously, I think she was part of like the cuts last year, right?
Yeah, she was let go last March in like that Black Wednesday. Yeah. I got Deonna retaining.
Kendall?
I'm biased because I love Deonna like crazy.
I'm gonna pick her. I'm picking her too. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with John. I pick Deonna Purrazzo.
Johnny.
Deonna.
Okay. No, that's a good pick.
Biter, Johnny.
Okay. I'm gonna think it out.
All right. Let's give Johnny a quick trivia question. Let's see here.
All right. How about this one? What was the opening? This is easy. What was the opening match at WrestleMania 19?
Oh, it was a cruiserweight. It was Rey Mysterio against Matt Hardy.
There you go.
Wow.
Matt Hardy, what?
Matt Hardy.
Which Matt version? And I'm giving you a hint there.
The one that goes, "Oh yeah."
No.
Version what?
The version when he was doing that. I can stand.
No, they don't know.
No, he had a gimmick at the time. Version what?
Version. See, it's hard to remember.
You got the opening match right. Don't worry, you're not banned yet.
I mean, he was woke Matt Hardy, by the way. He was woke Matt Hardy. He was woke Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah.
Version 1.
Okay, Johnny. Who was his running mate at the time?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard one.
Hint: former star on WCW.
Oh, WCW.
Also from North Carolina.
I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell. I remember the match, but I just can't remember.
Bro, you actually this is calculus. This is wrestling, bro.
His first name is traditionally a woman's first name.
Woman. Let's see.
Because this is the first time I've ever heard a male that was named by this. That's why I say it's traditionally a woman's name.
Shoot, I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
If you want some say you're eating macaroni and cheese and you want blank, I'd like some blank macaroni and cheese.
Plain.
I like some. I've eaten all that I have. I want to get a little bit.
Andrew's coming on in a minute.
Sauce. Is this sauce cheese? I don't.
No, I'd like some. Watch my.
More.
Okay,
like
you want more? Okay, all right. Now the first name, traditionally a woman's first name.
Oh my God, more.
Last name's Moore. Was in WCW. I think he might have won the cruiserweight title. I'm not sure. All right, we'll let Andrew.
Wow, you don't know?
The perfect timing, right? The
Yeah.
perfect
Shannon Moore.
What up?
Shannon Moore.
Shannon Moore. What did I miss, guys?
Johnny's
Johnny's on his way to a 1-month ban
No, I
from
don't.
Nerds to Wrestling.
Not 1 month, maybe like a week.
Oh, all right, a week. Give him a week.
Man, why is everyone doing this to me?
Johnny,
All
what are
right.
you listening to?
All right, Andrew.
All right, let's
Andrew.
finish your
All right, we're
predictions.
gonna have 2 more predictions, but Andrew, before we get into that, I'd like you to ask Johnny one wrestling trivia question.
Oh my fuck.
Ooh. I'm going to have to dive deep into this one.
Don't make it too hard.
Don't please. Why is it every time? Is this gonna be a tradition now? You got to ask me every time.
He got who was in the corners at WrestleMania 1. Like
Okay.
he knocked that out the park. Johnny, I give you.
Nice.
You got that one, no problem.
Grand salami.
Okay, I'm actually going to have to think about this one. You guys are going to have to give me a moment.
All right. While Andrew figures this out, let's do.
The predictions
We got Finn Juice, David. No, we got one more here.
Oh.
David Finley and Juice Robinson versus the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. And it looks like Finn Juice are the tag team champions right now, which is silly because of what they're doing with the Good Brothers. But whatever. Kendall.
I got Finn Juice winning. Right now.
All right, Justin.
Good brothers. Good brothers.
Johnny, do you know who these people are?
Good brothers.
Okay.
Do you know who they are?
Oh, they
All right,
I don't
Johnny.
remember.
What was Doc Gallows' first gimmick in WWE?
I got my trivia question.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can.
Wait.
I got mine too.
You got one too? All right. Wait, am I doing the question first, or is Johnny answering that question?
Do you know what his first gimmick was in WWE?
No.
Festus.
Jesus.
Festus.
Okay.
Who's Festus?
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm revoking. All right, Andrew.
You lucky.
All right.
Go ahead, Andrew.
This is going to be an interesting one.
All right. Is
Oh,
there
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
All right. In his entire WrestleMania career, Cena has only ever lost 4 singles one-on-one matches.
Hold on. I always those matches.
Can you name those 4 and what the commonality is between all 4 of them?
But
I actually, this is good. This is a good one.
Matches though, I can name them all. WrestleMania 20, John Cena faced Big Show debut, won the cruiserweight. No, the
US.
Yes.
If Big Show was the cruiserweight champion, we'd have some real big problems.
Okay, he's not asking which ones he lost. He's actually won. He's asking which one. I was gonna say, if you said John Cena lost that at WrestleMania, we would have kicked you out right there.
No,
You'd be like, you're done.
Like that literally put Cena on the map. Was winning the US.
You really
title.
did.
You would have been like, oh yeah, no, John Cena lost the Big Show, and I would have been like,
I think cruiserweight.
Oh boy.
All right, no, this is a good question because I'm actually like thinking it over in my brain right now.
Well, while he's pondering that, we're covering Finn Juice and the Good Brothers, you mentioned?
Yep.
I guess I'll give my pick while he's kind of figuring that one out in the process. It's an interesting one, I gotta say, because you have the New Japan and Impact partnership kind of getting a little bit of a revival, ever since the initial flaccid, if you will, mistake that was having Okada when he was a young lion.
Oh, they blew that. Yeah, they
massively blew that. It was a sad case to see, but I'm glad that he recovered and, he became today, as we all know, the Rainmaker. And when Finn Juice came in, they got the tag team championships and they're, to their credit, they're presenting them on New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're saying they're gonna, it's beautiful. Like they're saying they're gonna defend them everywhere. You know, they're the champions, and they're they're running down the Good Brothers.
I got it. I got the John Cena question.
You got it. What do you got?
I got it.
Wait, hold on. Let Andrew give his prediction first.
Sorry.
So, you know, I want to say that FinJuice would win because they've been portraying the titles as something that's very valuable, something that they've wanted for the longest. But unfortunately, given the ramifications of tonight's main events, I feel more inclined to say the Good Brothers are probably going to retain it, or regain it, rather.
I am going to wholeheartedly agree with you. The Good Brothers are in like the main event of two different shows right now, which is Impact and AEW. I was surprised that they lost the tag titles. I feel like Impact does that a lot, though. Like it's hot potato a lot of times with their title belts because Eric Young? Who did he beat for the title? Before he defended against Rich Swann, he beat. That
was Eddie Edwards and.
So Eddie, yeah. So Eddie had just won the title, right? So he had it for like what, a month, 2 months, and then it went right back to Eric Young, and then it went right to Rich Swann. I think Rich Swann's having one of the lengthier title runs that they've had in a while.
Absolutely. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
After I, because I'm gonna answer Johnny's question. I want to see if I'm right. I'm doing this to see if I'm right. I'm hoping not, Johnny. And then I have a question for you. Okay, so you said what matches did John Cena lose his 4 single matches at WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm. And the commonality between them.
The first one was the commonality. Okay. The first one was 27 against The Miz. He lost because of The Rock. 28 he lost to The Rock.
Right.
Ironically.
Yep.
27 he lost, 28 he lost.
No, 29 he won, 30 he won,
30 he won, 31 he won, 32 he didn't wrestle, 33 he won in the tag team match with Nikki Bella, 34 he lost to The Undertaker, and 36 he lost to the Fiend.
Okay, so that's all 4. Now you just got to figure out the commonality between them. It's really obvious.
Okay.
You actually said it.
What?
Interference.
Technically no.
Because Bray's wasn't really interference; he was messing with his mind.
But neither was Undertaker. That was an interference.
Wait, hold on.
27 and 28 were both to The Rock because of The Rock.
Oh, I was gonna say they were all like second generation stars, but that's not right because of Undertaker.
Johnny's got something. Yeah. Johnny's excited. What do you got, Johnny?
Johnny doesn't have anything. Johnny was just mocking the thing that Cena did in the Funhouse with the weights.
I just can't stop thinking about it.
Johnny, who's the Rick the Mauler Martel? Do you know him?
Yeah, Rick Martel.
Well, I said his name. But...
Does like has some black.
Man, what do they all have in common? Okay,
Eli,
hold on.
Before we think of this, Eli has a question for you, Johnny.
All right.
True or false? CJ Parker. True or false? CJ Parker lost to both Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in their NXT debuts. True or false?
False.
No, it's true.
True.
Kevin Owens beat CJ Parker, so did Roman Reigns.
CJ actually broke his nose with that palm.
I'm sorry. Sorry, that's strike 2. One more, you're out.
No, stop.
All right, before we kick him out.
No.
What is the commonality? Because now I'm trying to figure it out.
What is the commonality?
All right, so you got Undertaker.
I got the WrestleManias.
You got Bray. You got Miz. Who's the other one we said?
28.
I'll give you a hint. It's 2 hints technically. 1, it's really obvious, and 2, Justin kind of technically said the answer when he named them.
The Rock. What?
I'm at a loss.
I'm at a loss.
Maybe I need a band.
Silly answer. It's a silly answer.
What is it?
They all have "the" in their name.
Oh
man.
Oh
man. Wow. Yeah.
Silly statistic, but technically true.
Yeah.
I was looking for something more complicated. Yeah.
Those are the best questions. The ones that you don't think too hard about. Makes you think.
Johnny.
Yes.
For the band, if If you get this right, Justin will not ban you.
Now I'll take a strike away.
No.
Who won the 1995 King of the Ring?
Oh, Shawn Michaels.
Incorrect. I don't think Shawn Michaels ever won King of the Ring that I can think of.
Is there anybody requesting to come on right now, Dan?
Not that I see. No. Is Eli trying to get in on this?
Let me ask my question before he leaves. Name all the tag team partners John Cena won the tag team titles with.
Oh, that's
Name all the people. Name all his tag team partner.
Yeah.
Tag team with, I think, Batista, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton.
No, all the people he won the tag team titles with.
He never won. I don't think he ever won a tag team title with Triple H or Randy Orton.
I think he tag team with The Rock, though, right?
Okay. Name the people he won a tag team title with.
someone from one point. Is it?
I'll give you one.
No,
Shawn
don't
Michaels.
give him nothing. No.
Shawn Michaels.
So you can't give him
Well,
nothing.
that's obvious.
Michaels is the.
All right. Can I give him a less obvious one?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let-
Yes.
let him-
It's hard. Like I don't think I could get this. I'm trying to give Johnny softball questions. And yes, hit him with one.
All right. Kendall said no, so I can't help him.
Okay, do it.
David Otunga,
It was Otunga. Yeah, I thought so.
the Nexus one.
And the whole stuff with the Nexus was just. How do you botch something so good?
Oh my god.
So
tell me about
freaking
it.
good.
Tell me about it.
You know.
It's like they had lightning in a bottle and they decided to put it in a paper bag and then fart in the bag and then it collapsed
That was it.
like nothing.
They farted in the bag.
They farted in a bag. You know, like that juvenile thing in high school where you just
Yeah.
like, you know,
All
that
right.
bag special.
All right, Johnny, for real. If you don't get this, you are banned from Nerds of Wrestling for 1 week.
Why? No. This is
Man,
tough.
Who
My-
won the first Royal Rumble?
Who won the very first Royal Rumble?
my first show with Johnny and possibly my last.
First
Good
one
grief.
ever.
Good grief.
I know it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
There you go.
Hey.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right, who's the first Intercontinental Champion?
Pat Patterson.
Okay, so he knows. He's got a few of these that you know. Who won the '95 King of the Ring?
Did I mention? I did. I was wrong though. I won. I won.
All right, so here's your hint.
Yeah.
He was one half of Men on a Mission.
It's the big one.
Oh, I got it.
Wow.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash was not in Men on a Mission. What? All right.
What? Kick him out, please.
Okay.
Kick him out of here.
No,
He was in the ministry.
Ministry. I know there's a lot of big guys in the '90s. I just not some.
He is a big guy. Yes, he is a big guy. He's no longer with us.
Oh, was he taller than Andre?
No.
What?
Big guy.
He's very much
Can
eviscerating
you
this
please
question.
kick him out of here, please? Thank you.
Oh, no. Kick down. It's annoying.
No, we're not kicking you out.
I literally just dropped the biggest hint too.
I don't. It's so familiar. I don't know. I don't know how I don't know.
All right, Men on a Mission. Big tag team. This is '95 where they're turning everybody heel because they didn't have enough heel wrestlers. The British Bulldog also turned heel around this time.
Come on, Johnny, you're a love machine. You got this.
It's just hard. It's hard to think.
All right. Yes. Oh, Love Machine's a huge hint.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot.
No, I don't know.
He's mad. He's mad as Lillian Garcia.
Come on, Big Daddy, you got this.
He also appeared on the
Big Daddy.
ECW.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
He was on the new ECW brand. He went by Big Daddy V.
Oh, Viscera. Is that he?
Okay, but what was his name in '95?
Fuck. Yeah, now Viscera. I know who he is. Shoot, I don't know his name. I forgot. I don't know. It
runs a stable.
Maybe you need to think about it really hardly.
And the answer is Johnny. You got this.
Is it?
He was wearing Maybelline.
He just said the answer. He just said the answer.
Big
He
Daddy.
was.
I didn't say the answer. I said a brand. That's a brand, Maybelline.
He said the brand.
Big Daddy V.
Okay,
What
Big
was his
Daddy V
name?
is. We gave you
95.
that though. What was his name in '95?
It rhymes with stable.
Are you able?
I was rocking Maybelline last week. Maybelline.
Stable, he's not.
Oh man,
Let's
this reminds
make
me. I
believe
need to go
he's not.
restock on maple leaf syrup.
Yeah, same.
Stable? Is it?
Oh my God! Damn it, Johnny! It's
I-
Mabel. It's
Mabel.
Mabel.
Mabel,
Mabel.
King Mabel.
Damn it!
I would never have a wrestling name like that. Mabel. That is the worst. Oh.
What's your wrestling name?
What?
What's your wrestling name?
You
J Dog.
guys.
What? We got to pick.
Yeah, you picking it.
That's not our job. That's your job. That's you and your trainer's job to come up with a name, not us. We're not your trainer.
I don't have one yet.
Johnny Steele.
Okay, all right, Johnny. You're going to what's the wrestling school you go to?
Tessa.
Okay, and Slick Wagner Brown is the trainer there, right?
Right.
Who trained Slick Wagner Brown?
Killer Kowalski.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
I made me a little bit nervous.
I looked up the school of it, so that's why.
Okay, who also was trained by Killer Kowalski? That is a big name in WWE.
Oh,
From my hometown of Nashua, New Hampshire.
I don't know. I don't know.
Jesus,
Man,
Johnny.
I've only been here for 20 minutes.
Are we predictions? We still have.
We got one more. We got one more to pick, and then we'll keep.
All right,
asking
one
Johnny
more.
questions.
Johnny, I want you to stew on that. Who did Killer Kowalski who was his best student that went on to be the biggest name, one of the biggest names ever?
Oh, this is a fun game.
We got more to ask him later, though.
No.
All right, I want you to sit on this one for a little bit.
All right. Main event time. Main event
Main
time.
event. We got yeah, I got you, Justin. This is my show.
I'm sorry.
Come on. We got the AEW, and you can buy these at Walmart, marked down now. We got the AEW Championship and the Impact Championship. We got Rich Swann and Kenny Omega, the greatest professional wrestler on the face of the planet right now. Andrew, since you came in a little later, who do you have winning this main event?
I got to prove my worth in this one because this This is a pretty big match we've got to cover here. It's very significant for Impact's history. The fact that you have a title for title. Rich Swann, as we already know, the unified Impact World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Moose to unify the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. It's a big time match, one that you've never really seen in modern history. The chance to unify two world titles, and no matter who wins, you're going to have both of them or one of them walking around with another company's world championship. Pretty unprecedented in today's modern wrestling society, if you will. If I had to pick one, I personally feel that Kenny Omega is going to win because it's kind of the obvious get. The fact that Kenny Omega is doing the whole belt collector thing where he's got the Impact, the AEW, the AAA championship. Who knows if he's going for the IWGP championship with the way they've been name dropping, New Japan, and maybe even the NWA championship en route with that partnership. I want Rich Swann to win just to kind of swerve, and I feel like Rich Swann has gotten the short end of the stick on this deal, but it seems like the obvious is Kenny Omega.
Let me ask you one follow-up question, Andrew.
Go for it.
Because the obvious answer probably is Kenny Omega.
Right.
Does that hurt or help the Impact brand?
It goes both ways. And you can't really answer this question without addressing the elephant in the room. The fact that Impact Wrestling has barely been promoted on AEW programming. Meanwhile, Impact has been both Line and Sigger promoting AEW through those funny paid skits with Tony's and, Tony Khan showing up from time to time. But it's an unfortunate deal because Impact does gain out of this by having their world championship portrayed on AEW programming, conversely, it feels like AEW hasn't really gained much out of this other than the fact that it's fueling Kenny's, belt collector thing. The fact that you have the Super Elite with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks reunited again. It's weird because you can't say that they're not promoting because they don't fear Impact, or they do fear Impact, excuse me. But I feel like it's a weird situation because it feels like it's kind of one-sided.
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I really feel like Impact is not getting the best part of the bargain on this. And I could be wrong. I don't know. Justin, what do you think?
I got Kenny. You got to take Kenny in this one. I got Kenny Omega beating Rich Swann. He's going to hold every single title in professional wrestling soon, minus, the WWE, but you never know. But I got Kenny.
Johnny?
I got Omega on this. I think, yeah, Omega.
Okay.
There you go.
And Kendall?
Before, I thought Moose was gonna beat Rich Swann, but I don't think Moose is the type of person to go over against someone like Kenny, because he didn't even want to go over against Rich Swann. So what made y'all think he was gonna go over against Kenny? So, but I want to say that this match is going somehow, some way in the no contest. So,
But they promised in the press conference that would not happen. I just want to address that because that's been a lot of the debate. Obviously, the easy escape is a no finish or DQ.
Right.
They said in the press conference that's not happening.
but we made a lot of promises that we don't keep.
That's
So
true.
something-
Order the
So-
pay-per-view and then we'll screw you.
yeah, AEW promised a big explosion. What we get, a Walmart explosion. So
That was bad. That was bad.
So, I mean, I feel like even though they did say, "Oh, we're guaranteed the winner," I feel like somehow, some way, it's going to end in no contest. But if I had to choose the winner, I'm going underdog. I'm going with Rich Swann.
Fair. That's very fair.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with Kendall here, and here's why. They have built Rich Swann up to be this unbelievable underdog, where it's kind of like they're both world champions. Does Impact say, well, the AEW title, which has only been around since 2019, is now more prestigious than the Impact Championship because you're on TNT? Is that how it works? If you have a better TV, if you have a better network, they've built it that Rich Swann can't win this match. So to me, it goes, then I think Rich Swann's actually going to win this match. I'll probably be wrong at the end of the night, but I don't know. Are you Tony Khan? I guess here's the thing out of this partnership. I guess this will be the question I'll ask. Who benefits the most out of an AEW Impact relationship?
Impact, of course. Yeah, Impact.
So is AEW gonna be no way you're gonna beat our champion?
I mean, yeah, I can see oh, hell no, y'all. We're helping y'all. They're gonna be like, we're helping y'all out. Why should we lose when we're helping y'all out?
I mean, is there a lot of stock right now on Rich Swann?
He's not
No.
over as Kenny. I
No.
mean, the other thing about Impact is they haven't had an audience in over a year, so we really don't know. I know a lot of people liked Slammiversary, but I don't know if it's continued. I just don't know who benefits. That's the thing. This is a business at the end of the day, right?
Right.
But think about Slammiversary. It was the aftermath of Dark Saturday. It came right at the end of the 90-day Dark period. So that's why everybody was hyped. It was right on the 90th day that everybody could compete again. So that's why everybody was so hyped.
No, and it was
now-
super cool.
Yeah.
He's not
Johnny,
he's not
what
wrong
are
to
you
this.
smiling about over there?
Smiling? I'm not smiling.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just don't know. I don't know who benefits out of this. I think it's tough. The other thing is, didn't Omega already pin Rich Swann?
He did during Hard to Kill 6-man pay-per-view main events where he just straight up pinned him.
Okay, so if you're Scott D'Amore, you're Don Callis, you're running this company, do you say, yeah, we're gonna let you beat our champion, or does Kenny Omega help Impact if he wins? You get more Kenny Omega on your television, which he is the hottest star.
I feel like it's a two-way thing.
I feel like if he wins, I feel like he's really going to fucking defend. That's my opinion, though. I feel like he's really going to defend. He's going to pull a what's that lady's name? He's going to be like, okay, throw it in the trash. I'm like, that's what I don't know what he's going to do. He's like, I don't want this damn belt. Throw it away. Vacate it. Like it's going to be like, okay, you won the title for nothing if you were just going to throw it away and vacate it. That's how I feel. If he wins the belt, he's just gonna like throw it away and be like, "Yeah, fuck this company." Throw the belt away, kick it over. Like that's why I feel like what's gonna happen.
I kind of hope not, honestly, because during Kenny Omega's entrances in AEW, especially when he's facing off against contracted AAA talent, you'll see him kind of with the female valets with them. You know, they have the belts with them, holding them up. And Kenny's always talking about how he wants to collect these belts and, you know, document his status as one of the greatest, you know, professional wrestlers of all time. I really hope he doesn't do that, because if he does, you've instantly devalued the Impact World Heavyweight Championship in one fell swoop, and by extension, the partnership between Impact and AEW.
Oh, it'd be dead. There's no way. You can't do that to the title.
It's really a weird circumstance because of the fact that other than the Good Brothers, you really haven't seen, if at all, any Impact stars on AEW. It seems like, and at first I wanted to blame the COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe traveling was a little bit weird and they're not able to do it here and there.
But they're all in Florida, right? Is Impact filming in Florida?
Impact, I think, is filming in Canada right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're based in Canada. I mean, I may be wrong. They probably are filming in Florida, but it also raises the question. I mean, we've seen Deonna Purrazzo, for example, in certain areas with, you know, certain talent, you know, if they're celebrating or whatever, but she is in the States at times. You know, you would think that she would show up here and there for a couple of appearances with AEW. Conversely, you know, you could have Hikaru Shida showing up in Impact Wrestling a couple of times just to kind of show that, hey, it's not just Impact benefiting from this. AEW can kind of force an invasion of their own. Private Party did show up on Impact, right? Didn't they? They did. Title match? Yeah. And then they kind of disappeared.
That was it. Yeah.
That was it. You know,
like it was like a one-time thing.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more of a cohesive partnership between the two of them. I mean, granted, you kind of risk putting yourself in a little bit of a corner by having champions versus champions all the time, or having a champion beat your contracted roster, because then you're devaluing your roster if not done properly. But at the same time, there's so much potential to elevate them.
Andrew, fast check. Eli just checked. Impact is actually filming in Nashville.
Oh, even better.
They're back in Nashville? Okay, so they're in the
perfect.
Similar.
So they're in the area, you know? Yeah. They're in the area. So, I mean, it's possible that, you know, you could have some appearances from Impact into AEW to kind of push this idea that, hey, AEW is invading and potentially going to take your world title. Stand up and do something about it.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of I have to say this. I feel like in the whole partnership, AEW's made out great. Impact has not, in my opinion, because Impact has been AEW's been able to use Impact's greatest tag team.
Mm-hmm.
If tonight Omega beats Swann, like if you're Impact Wrestling, you're just saying like we're just not as good as them.
Ooh, actually, I do want to propose a counter question to that idea. I mean, I know it's not really like completely set in stone, but the general consensus is that the outcome is almost entirely not in question. So does that affect your outward desire or like does that affect how you look at this match going forward because you feel like the outcome is all but an inevitability?
Yeah, I think that's hard for people to want to. Because you're right. So there's two schools of thought on this.
Mm-hmm.
You've built Rich Swann into this underdog. He can't win. No way he can beat the best wrestler in the whole world. So then it gets into, well, there's no way Rich Swann's winning, so I'm not going to order this pay-per-view.
Right.
Or you have the school of thought that like they have built Rich Swann to there's no way he can win it. He's going to beat Kenny Omega. Which I think if you think Rich Swann is going to win, you're going to be more inclined to order this pay-per-view. If you think that Kenny Omega is going to win, as great as this match I think is going to be, if you think Omega's winning, you might not spend the money.
Right.
I mean, it's not like having the network. You get what is it, $60, $70 to order this thing tonight?
Roughly.
So I think as like a wrestling fan, the only thing that makes sense is Swann somehow beating Omega.
But is anybody really?
Which isn't good for AEW, I don't think.
Is anybody really going to spend $70 to order this thing? I mean, I wouldn't.
And on top of that, AEW has done nothing to promote Rebellion save for a press conference.
Which is kind of crappy. Like at the end of the day, like you what it's felt like is like you're just saying AEW is the superior brand.
Right.
And Impact is almost 20 years old. Like let's give Impact the credit it deserves. It's almost 20 years old. I thought in 2016, when I ordered Bound for Glory 2016, I said, this is going to be the last pay-per-view Impact's ever had. And it wasn't.
Right. They survived for 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah. So it's unique. I have to say it's unique. I'm so intrigued about it.
It is. I will give credit where credit's due, though. They have done a good job of kind of having the idea planted that Rich Swann has been working out ways to counter Kenny Omega's one-winged angel, the big move that no one has really kicked out of, say for Ibushi way back when. But Ibushi has no neck, so by default, he's going to kick out of it anyways. But they have done. They have done a very good job of saying that, Rich Swann has been taking Kenny Omega seriously to add to the classic underdog build. But conversely, if you're going to push your AEW champion as someone that's going to beat all champions out there, then Impact kind of gets the short end of the stick in this deal. And it's why you were walking a very fine line when it comes to a title versus title in which there has to be a winner. Because you risk devaluing one brand over the other if you're not able to properly handle it.
Right.
Yeah, I see honestly, and because there's people probably watching this that are saying, well, guys, wrestling's fake, blah, 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 blah. But to the fan, when you're watching it, if you make one product seem subpar to the other, you're probably not going to tune into it.
Yeah. And I mean, my counter to that fake argument is, people have complained about Justice League, and then they're complaining about the Snyder Cut, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to push for the Snyder Cut." That's literally what we're doing right now with different promotions. So we share the same sentiment, guys. It doesn't matter if it's fake or real at the end of the day.
I just don't. I don't think Impact can afford to have, and maybe I could be completely wrong, and maybe they're trying to get a rub from AEW. I don't think Impact can afford to let Rich Swann get pinned clean tonight.
I really don't feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like either the Good Brothers or someone from Rich Swann's friendship stable, whatever he's got, may play a factor into this, and that might ultimately result in an unclean finish, hopefully to protect or preserve, whatever is left of the integrity of either brand by losing their world title and having the winner parade around both brands with the title. But a clean finish in this case, having yourself locked into that corner where you have to have a clean finish, it's really a catch-22 for yourself, because you're running the risk of devaluing one brand over the other. And then you're going to have that champion who's carrying both belts. He's going to have to take a pinfall inevitably. Who do you decide between which of the brands is going to get that pin?
Right.
Yeah. What do you think, Justin? I mean, if you guys really do think about this is something we haven't really I can't think of a time that we've had two companies doing something like this. To my right, I know Hogan went to New Japan at one point. He buried the World Wrestling Federation title, which was weird.
Terrible.
He was so mad, so bitter with WWF, I guess, at that point. But I just never see anything like this. Like, Justin, what do you think? Like, which company do you think, Justin, walks out of this match doing better for themselves?
I'm still gonna go with AEW, man. I'm gonna give it to Impact. Omega. Andrew said a lot, and I was kind of zoning out here and there. Honestly,
No,
I'm sorry.
Dude, we should have had Andrew since the beginning because I actually like your takes. Like
my
like that.
my ADHD is kicking in, so I'm just like,
I hear it. I'm so sorry.
no, you're good,
I didn't
you're
mean
good.
that.
No, you're fine. I'm just gonna go with Kenny.
All right,
Johnny, how about you?
I don't know. What? This is all
Johnny, who threw Marty Jannetty through the window in the barbershop?
Shawn Michaels.
What was their tag
He's
team
correct.
called?
Oh, Jesus. Johnny, come on, dude.
What was the question?
The Rock.
Thank you, God.
All right.
Dan asked who threw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window, and he said
Bobby
Shawn
Green.
Michaels, and I said, what was their tag team called? And he forgot for a second.
But I remember that, like, I know that the Rockers, but never Bobby Heenan goes, Jannetty tried to escape.
Are we gonna keep asking Johnny questions? Because I want to ask him
I
two
mean,
more
that
questions.
could be a full episode. Johnny, name the tag team. Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock.
This is bad. I don't know. This is
No.
why is it?
Jesus.
Okay.
Christ.
I got a question. What? How many times? Okay. Well, actually, two. What was the Rock and Big Foley's tag team name? How many times did they win the tag team titles?
Rocket Back Connection. They won about four times. Am I
3.
wrong? Close.
We'll give that to you.
Who did they drop it to the last time?
I don't remember all these. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember a lot of these.
The New Age Outlaws.
Where did John Cena beat Edge for the WWE Championship in the TLC match? What
Okay.
was it at?
And let me give you a hint. Edge had beat John Cena in his hometown, Boston. Not really.
West
And I was there booing the shit out of John Cena.
All right, anyway,
Wow.
So then they go somewhere else.
they go somewhere else in Edge's hometown. In his match.
Well, y'all just gave it away, but
We just gave it away, but
I actually have one afterwards that I think you guys might be curious
Johnny,
about.
Johnny, listen, if you don't get this, I'm sorry, you were really banned for like a week. you gotta know this one. Where John Cena beat Edge. It's in Edge's hometown.
In Canada.
Okay, well, where?
Okay, that's a country, Johnny.
Huh?
SummerSlam?
No.
Good old Canada.
Wow, no.
Edge beat Cena at SummerSlam.
But what pay per view was it?
Judgment Day.
Nope, you're banned.
No,
Nope.
stop. Stop. Why is everyone doing this to me? This is annoying.
You're banned. I'm sorry, buddy. You're banned for like a day.
Stop.
A day.
One day. That's
You're
pretty.
You're banned for a day. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. It was Unforgiven.
I don't want to do it. It's getting annoying.
Unforgiven. TLC match for the WWE Championship. John Cena beat him in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yep.
Wow.
Which was a phenomenal match. Actually,
Excellent.
way better than their SummerSlam match.
The ending spot was disgusting, where he FU'd him off the top of the ladder to those tables. Fucking for effing Christ.
Now, in my age demographic, I'll be honest. At the time, I could not stand John Cena. I was that guy going. People be going, "Let's go Cena." I'd be like, "Cena sucks." Yeah. But what I will say, one cool thing about John Cena, because he's actually a really good guy. We went to a show, I believe, here in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was Seth Rollins and John Cena in a steel cage. It was a house show. And me and my brother Bobby, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. But my buddy Pat brought his son, who was only like 5 at the time. He loved John Cena, so we were just teasing him like John Cena sucks, to a 5-year-old, because that's really like responsible as an adult. But
Hey, it's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cena legit. We were on the floor. Cena legit took a picture with it. Like he gave him the thing and he like hugged him, and like my buddy Pat's son was like, that would have been me like when I was a kid. If like Hulk Hogan like gave me a hug, I would have been going crazy over it.
That would have been me. That would have been me 2 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
It's gonna be Justin when he gets the spinner belt.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would mark out and like Cena came to me and give me his stuff and give me a hug. I would be like,
the toughest thing about
well, I wouldn't be surprised with just like boys. So that's it.
I mean, I'll always say like I appreciate John Cena more now, but like back in the day, it was just he was so forced down our throats that it was like just you couldn't help it. So it was Roman, but you gotta understand, like I started watching wrestling in 1991. And then I went through the whole Attitude Era, and now you're telling me that, like, yeah, in 1991, 1992, I was like, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, Hulk Hogan. But then it went to the Attitude Era with, Brett started to have that attitude in 97. Then you had Austin just being like, how do you go from being a wrestling fan for that edge to now we're going back to this type of character, like a Hulk Hogan, You
know what is too, and I'm. This is going to sound so long-winded, and I apologize, but it kind of goes back to how the era was at that time, where things weren't as syndicated. So the biggest focus for a wrestling promotion, and in this case, we're talking about WWE or WWF, if you will. They got their fix, if you will, from going to these live shows and seeing their heroes, like in your case, Dan, with Hulk Hogan, saying your prayers, eating your vitamins. You didn't get to see Hulk Hogan as much. So by that virtue, Hulk Hogan's aura had kind of escalated to the point where if you saw him, you were going to cheer your face off for him because he was that big American hero, never say die, can't do anything wrong. And then as things got more syndicated, as things kind of grew and evolved, you got into the Attitude Era where those young stars or young audience members who were once fans of Hulk Hogan, they've hit puberty. They kind of want to see something else. They want to see some edge. Pardon the French when I say this, but their balls have dropped. So they want something with some edge to it. Hence, when Brett started to get the attitude going, when Stone Cold Steve Austin started to rebel against his boss and everyone could kind of rally behind him. And then you got to the point where you realize the parents are paying for the children. So those Attitude Era wrestling diehard fans grew up. By this point, they probably had kids. Those kids start to, they see John Cena and they see themselves in John Cena, someone who they can live vicariously through. The big American hero, never say die, can't do any wrong. And the parents aren't going to like it because it's not their cup of tea. Ultimately, it's a far cry from the Stone Cold Steve Austin, beer swilling, middle finger flipping, Stone Cold Steve Austin stunnering boss days, if you will. But the kids love John Cena. The kids love seeing John Cena win, and the parents, they'll buy the merch ultimately. So it pushed John Cena to be to the top. And we're now entering this era of wrestling where you have these different promotions, that kids who were fans of John Cena have now started to grow up. And you're seeing guys like Kenny Omega, guys like Rich Swann, guys like Matt Tremont from H2O Wrestling and CZW. The deathmatch scene is starting to boom again. So people are starting to become fans of that.
It's like a cycle, basically.
It's pretty much a cycle.
It is, yeah.
It's a sick. Wrestling is a cyclic nature in a sense. Right. You start from the top, you go to the bottom, you go back to the top. It's a cog in the wheel. It just keeps on spinning.
So I guess the question now here is, if say you're a 10-year-old kid right now, who would be your favorite? Who is that baby face that never does anything wrong? Because it was Roman. It ain't Roman anymore.
There's really not anybody.
There isn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Just as
Brian.
There's no one.
Probably you could throw him in the day of Brian. Maybe.
But Daniel Bryan became the Planet's champion, and everyone hated him for
But
that.
yeah,
for some
no,
reason.
I don't think there's
Is it-
anybody.
Is it McIntyre?
No.
I wouldn't say yet. Like he may be breaking the cusp, but I don't think he's there yet.
Dan, I work with kids for a living, and you
Yep.
did before. You did too. A lot of my, I hear a lot of my students like wrestling, and 4 years ago was Roman Reigns, and I'm like, whatever. And right now it is Roman Reigns, but to some kids, I don't like him because he's a bad guy. I love him because he's the bad guy. So keep it up. I never heard one kid say Drew McIntyre. I don't even think they know who that is.
Which just sucks because I think he had a good run, but
I'm biased. I don't like it.
I mean, I will say this for sure: when I was 7 years old and Undertaker beat Hulk Hogan, I freaking cried my eyes out all night. I couldn't believe it. No one beat the Hulkster.
Right.
It was so. It's just interesting, but I think you're right. There's no clear-cut babyface that's like a Cena or like a Hogan.
But you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing because now you have more heroes to look up to. If you want to be the best that you could be, chances are you're gonna go to Kenny Omega.
I just realized we were still live.
Oh, this is going live all day.
Holy Nike.
I'm trying to. What was that guy's name earlier? That he wants to do a 16-hour stream.
You want to do You want to go live for 16 hours?
I do not.
I
do
definitely
not.
do not have 16 hours.
How long do you think we could go for?
On this?
I think 5.
I mean, if there was pee breaks, probably decent amount, but like this has been fun because it's something different. Like this is not what I do with my show. Obviously, I've been doing like more of the wrestling stuff. Typically on Let Freedom Ring, this is not what we do.
Right. Should we ask Johnny more questions?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Let me end this, and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna end this one right now. But
Right. Peace out,
this has been a lot of fun.
out.
Continue to Let Freedom Ring. Usually our episodes are not this long, but we've been having a lot of fun. And hit Johnny Burke up on Facebook with wrestling questions. John Burke on Facebook.
Slide in those DMs.
And all right, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Don't do it.